With every year that goes by, and in the face of this hungry, growing chasm of an industry that swallows creativity in the name of capital, it's the wonderfully rich and diverse cohort of developers across Australia and New Zealand that consistently surprise and delight us with their output. ANZ studios, solo developers, and collaborators have been doing amazing things with no signs of stopping, something that's evident in the constantly growing and changing list of upcoming local games available on the WellPlayed website. Now, as is tradition, we wanted to kick off the year by highlighting just a short list of some of the titles we've firmly got our eyes on. This is by no means an exhaustive list, with plenty of games we've already called out in the past or hope to cover more in the future, but take a look at the videos to come and see what we've picked out to whet your appetite for another year of Trans-Tasman bangers.
From New Zealand developer Astronaut Diaries, Denari is an isometric action game where players play as a young boy named Taiyu, who must save his village from an invading empire. To do so, Taiyu will engage in hack-and-slash combat, use telekinetic powers bestowed upon him by the spirits, and redirect enemy attacks to damaging effect. I've gone hands-on with Denari a couple times at PAX Australia, and its colourful cartoon art style and tight gameplay loop make it stand out every time.
Design and Conjure is a witchy, cozy room decorating game with elements of puzzling sprinkled in. Doesn't that sound like exactly what you want to come home to at the end of a rough day at work? You follow a young witch named Dahlia in a low-stakes quest to fix up her hometown, where she has just returned after university. To restore its natural beauty, you will take part in plenty of cleaning, decorating, puzzle solving, and helping magical creatures affected by the mysterious corruption. The combination of Design and Conjure's story mode filled with colourful characters and meditative gameplay sounds like a recipe for pure bliss. This adorable little adventure is currently being developed by the New Zealand devs at Tiny Kiwi Games, and I'm looking forward to a hopeful 2025 release after seeing it at PAX Oz 2024.
From the makers of Untitled Goose Game comes a markedly different, although equally silly-looking adventure titled Big Walk. Big Walk is a cooperative online walker-talker, where you and your buddies play as geometrically designed bird people who explore a beautifully rendered natural open world. The game seems mostly about chatting and hanging out with pals, hill, beach, and fireside, but also contains puzzles that urge you to sharpen your communication with each other and playfully explore your world. Big Walk should release sometime this year, so don't forget to make some friends beforehand.
Be prepared for the most immersive, most thrilling, and most saxophone-driven first-person adventure through the depths of a dungeon like no other. Be guided by a level 1 crab-turned-entrepreneur brought to life by the mind behind 2017's Paradigm, Jacob Janica. If you were lucky enough to attend PAX Oz 2023 in Melbourne and came across the Dungeon Experience's demo booth, complete with introduction on an actual tape deck, you'll know exactly the vibe to be found here. It's utter nonsense, a simulation of a simulation built on cardboard and the dreams of NPCs that never quite broke into AAA. If you're a fan of games like Thank Goodness You're Here, The Stanley Parable, or Crypt Master, this will be one to keep an eye on.
We're big fans of point-and-click adventures here at WellPlayed, so it's no surprise that New Zealand's Galactic Ghosty caught my attention with its weird, hand-drawn tale of dark humour and charming characters, Allogloom. Nora must journey through the remains of Gruesome Grove, solving puzzles and chatting with strange monsters and animals in order to bring the residents of her sleepy town home. This one definitely isn't the kids though, with the potential for some creepy good times mixed amongst its mysterious tones.
Game Over is a solo developer adventure RPG, or rhythm-playing game. Music is central to both the narrative and mechanics, with rhythm-based battles, puzzles, and platforming set amongst a world full of completely diegetic music playing in towns such as Percuston and Brasshole. According to independent third-party advisor, a frog character named Mickey Monkey Business, it's better to play Game Over knowing as little as possible. As long as you're into silliness and heaps of tune-based gameplay, you'll want to get Game Over when it releases on the 11th of April this year.
What's that saying? When the owner's away, the dog will play? Well, anyway, in Doggy Don't Care, you play as a pug who gives zero fucks. You can run around your house, backyard, and more, causing total destruction. Be that smashing vases, flattening garden beds, or peeing on every imaginable surface. All while collecting items to solve puzzles and earning badges from your feathered friends. I've been excited for this game since the first glimpse into its development, back when it was basically just a dog peeing simulator. so it's safe to say that I can't wait to get my hands on its full chaotic potential when it releases in 2025.
As most of my friends know, I love magpies, the bird that is, not the AFL team, so the idea of playing one of Australia's most feared and loved aerial menaces is exciting, and Monster Shop Games' Pie in the Sky will let me live that fantasy. This old school arcade game will have you terrorising civilians, dive-bombing cyclists, stealing food, and nurturing your offspring all in PS2 style graphics. Now that sounds like a game worth warbling about.
Cyber Paradise impressed me back at PAX Oz 2023, a pixel art fever dream roguelike with a heartfelt story filtered through its addictive combat mechanics. The two-person team at Melbourne-based DD Meow Games, I apologize if I got that wrong, has since continued to evolve its neon slice of life towards a full release, hopefully this year. The game follows the story of Hayley and her quest to uncover the mysteries of a computer simulated reality, where every memory fragment you discover rebuilds Hayley's life one bit at a time.
From Beethoven and Dinosaur, the Melbourne-based developer behind psychedelic platformer The Artful Escape, Mixtape is a heady teenage dream. With an air of life is strange or the perks of being a wallflower, and an iconic 80s soundtrack including Joy Division, The Smashing Pumpkins, Iggy Pop, and more, Mixtape will take you on a journey back in time as a group of 90s teens head to a party on their last night of high school. On the way, the friend with a strange, almost cosmic talent for creating mixtapes that can bend others to their will takes them on a surreal trip down memory lane. Watching the trailer immediately transported me back to the pleasantly delusional mindset of a teenager. And while this adventure is set before my time, I have a feeling it's going to bring back many fond memories of teenage delinquency.
I can think of few better ways to represent the quintessential Aussie vibe in video game form than with a chill, beachy posty sim starring a bunch of fruit and veg with their bare buns on full display. Luckily, the folks at Little Pink Clouds have tapped into that very concept for Letters to Aralla. As a mail-delivering turnip on the titular fictional island of Aralla, you'll meet the eclectic locals, solve puzzles, make deliveries, and most importantly, read all of the mail. Yep, Australia Post might claim that snooping through people's letters is highly illegal and that I'm immediately dismissed, but on Aralla it's not just allowed, it's encouraged.
Flashy first-person shooters are one thing, but an FPS that's full of neon pink, fairies, and bright lights is another. The world of Incolatus stands head and shoulders above the vast majority of its contemporaries on looks alone. But there's the promise of old-school action where speed is the aim of the game. The faster you go, the more damage you'll do to your enemies and heal in the process, so there's no time to stand around and take in the sights. Perth's own Funny Fintan Softworks has been working on their Girlypop inspired shooter since 2020, and the more I see of it, the more impressed I get. Here's hoping we're close to a 2025 release date. My trigger fingers are getting itchy.
Playing as first-year student and charming art psychic Johanna Pathros, you must investigate suspected art killers in ShelfLife, Art School Detective. Set against a fitting pop art style, you enter artworks to uncover secrets, decide to confront or kiss suspects, and follow clues in order to solve the case of the Gallery Massacre before time runs out. Goofiness, creativity, and queerness lay at the heart of ShelfLife, with shifts in art styles and dialogue that solidify its mysterious vibes. Admittedly, we have no idea when the game releases, so its place on this list is more so aspirational.
I've played my share of relaxed, cozy flight sims in the past, but there's something special about Toroa Skycall. Maybe it's the Pacific Ocean setting, rooted in Te Ao Māori, or the gorgeous soundtrack composed with Māori instruments. Or it could just be the prevalence of loudmouthed gulls and penguins in desperate need of lessons in communication. I first saw this game in a presentation at last year's excellent Free Play Parallels event and haven't stopped thinking about it since. Heartfelt, hilarious, beautiful, and culturally rich are the best words I can muster for Toroa Skycall.
If you told 9-year-old me after watching Billy Zane's The Phantom at the cinema in 1996 that in the future I'd be playing a retro-style beat-em-up of The Phantom, well, I'd have gone to heaven in that moment. Which is pretty much how I felt when Melbourne's Art of Play announced its very own The Phantom last year. Based on a story endorsed by King Features Syndicate, the production house behind the Purple Suit, The Phantom sees the ghost who walks alongside companions Diana Palmer and Devil the Wolf as they embark on a mission to take down the Singh Brotherhood. It features hand-drawn comic book style 2D visuals and classic beat-em-up gameplay, which can be played in co-op, so you and a mate can slam evil together on PC and consoles in 2025. And that concludes our list. Of course, there are many more titles worth keeping an eye on, and no doubt more will pop up throughout the year. But we hope you found a couple new titles to add to your wish list. Let us know what games caught your eye, or if we've made any glaring omissions in the comments, and we'll see you next time.